From Kino Veterans Memorial Stadium in Tucson, Arizona, this is the Sun Belt College Baseball Summer League featured game. Hello, this is Alan Scott here to webcast and broadcast the soon-to-start game between the Rincon Knights and the Tucson Champs. This will be the fourth and final meeting of these two teams, with the Champs holding a 2-1 lead in the series. In past games, the winner has done so very decisively. The slimmest victory margin has been 5 runs. It was the Tucson Champs in Game 1, 14-9. The Rincon Knights returned the favor in Game 2, winning by 10, 14-4. And in the most recent game, the Champs pushed the envelope to 14 runs, taking that game 17-3. At the top of the league standings, everything is pretty well set. However, the bottom 3 positions in the standings are up for grabs, with the Tucson Champs holding on to 5th spot by only a game and a half over the Rincon Knights. The Knights, on the other hand, are only a half game out of the cellar. Now looking towards the other games on the schedule for tonight on the South Fields, the current cellar-dwelling Old Pueblo Kings, trying to break a 5-game losing streak, will take on the league-leading Aztecs, while Team Tucson goes against a possibly rusty Tucson Cochise Stars, that is. The Stars haven't played in a week because of the All-Star break and the bye. Right after this, I'll check out game results from both last Monday and Tuesday, look at the current standings, and get tonight's game started. But first, I'd like to ask you to hear about the Sun Belt College Baseball League sponsors and ask you to support them as they support us. We'll be right back right after the playing of our national anthem. About to get underway here at Kino Veterans Memorial Stadium, and once again, we'd like to encourage you to do business with these sponsors. But even if you don't, please at least let them know that you appreciate their support of the Sun Belt College Baseball and the broadcast and the webcast. Tonight's game is being brought to you in part by Goliath Auto Sales, the Rincon Financial Group, Jimmy John's Restaurants, Best Western Tucson International Airport Hotel and Suites, Firestone Complete Auto Care, Chewy's Mesquite Broiler at 22nd and Cobb, Elite Sporting Goods, Pima County's Kino Sports Complex, O'Reilly Chevrolet, Cazal Fire Protection Company, and by the Stop and Go Driving School. Looking at the results from yesterday, it was Team Tucson beating the Old Pueblo Kings in a fine pitcher's battle here in the stadium. 3-2 was the count. The Rincon Rockets won a game by default over the BNL Rockets. Not exactly sure what caused that, and been unable to contact anybody out on the South Fields to find out what the deal was about that. In the third game, the Aztecs 7-1 over the Tucson Champs. Looking at the standings, the only change has been down at the bottom with the Rincon Knights winning by forfeit. They are now a half game ahead of the Old Pueblo Kings at the bottom in 6 and 7. 1 through 5 remained unchanged. The Aztecs at 17 and 4 are 3 games ahead of the B&L Rockets now. Cochise Stars 3.5 games back. Team Tucson, with their secured spot in the 4th position, is 11-9 on the season. And then Tucson champs that we'll see tonight, 7-14 in that 5th spot. About ready to get underway here, as on the mound for the Tucson champs is Cole Altier. Cole we have seen frequently before, and he has been a bit inconsistent. We will talk once again about the situation that we have had with our scoring system. The electronic system works just fine with the site or at the site. First pitch is outside to the leadoff hitter, Tyler Thomas, the designated hitter. And Altier starts off with a ball. Sunfield on the right side of the infield, swung on and fouled away 1-1. On the right side, McMahon at second and Campillo at first will battle the Sun at least for a period of time here in the early going. Elijah Hart in right field will be in the same situation. The center fielder, Ricky Martinez, is in some shade out there, and not only that, he is not looking directly west as the right side of the infield would be. And then the outfielder is Mikey Villa in left field, and he doesn't have any problem with the Sun. 1-2 count, fouled off to the right side. On deck is Sam Gustafson, and he'll be followed by Alvaro Burnett. Looking at the infield for the Tucson champs, it's Sean Conboy at third, Luis Zamorano at shortstop. The second baseman is Patrick McMahon. At first base, Robert Campillo. Behind the plate, A.J. Van Bogart, normally an outfielder, so he is taking a turn behind the plate tonight. And as I mentioned, on the mound, Cole Altier. 1-2 pitch, fouled off again to the right side. Checking the configuration here at Kino Veterans Memorial Stadium, 340 down the lines. Straightaway right and left, 375. The alleys are 390, and straightaway 405. 1-2, fouled back and over the screen. As you walk around Kino Veterans Memorial Stadium, you need to be aware that the ball sometimes clears the screen. See that the major leagues are talking about extending that screen well past the dugouts because of a couple of instances in the ball getting into the stands there. Swung on and missed for strikeout. First out of the top of the first inning. And that will be Altier's first strikeout. He has registered 9 strikeouts a couple of times this season. Justin Atencio is behind the plate tonight, and Valdemar Dagnino is on the bases. First pitch to Gustafson, inside corner for a called strike. Sam is the extra hitter tonight. In this league, you can have 10 hitters in the lineup. You don't have to. Sometimes they do go with 9, the ball outside for a 1-1 count. Infielders pretty much where you would expect them to be with nobody on and 1 out. Outfielders pretty much straight away as well. This one fouled to the left side. 1 ball and 2 strikes. We have stands down the right field line, curling in towards the line about 2/3 of the way down the right field side. Pitch is high for a ball, and it squares up at 2-2. Along the left side, pretty much the same configuration, except there are no stands, no seating places out on the far left end of the left side. This one wrapped a 1 hopper out to Patrick McMahon, and he gets it over to first base, and we have 2 outs here in the top of the first. Alvaro Burnett, playing shortstop tonight, will be the next hitter. A couple of outs here, nobody on in the top of the first inning. Rincon Knights, 5-15 on the year. They are in the 6th spot in the standings here in Tucson. They were a winner the other night. High hopper grabbed by Conboy, and he'll get it over to first. And a very efficient first inning for the Tucson champs. And they will come up here in the bottom of the first inning with nothing across in the top of the first. Come see the difference at Goliath Auto Sales. They are the no-pressure used car dealership at 5170 North La Cholla Boulevard in Tucson. One of their most recent past customers, John of Tucson, was kind enough to send a letter in, and in it said that it was the most painless deal that I've ever had in buying a car. I would highly recommend Goliath Auto Sales. So for value pricing and affordable vehicles, make sure that you check out Goliath Auto Sales. Bottom of the first inning. First three batters will be Jacob Federico. He is the extra hitter. Then Ricky Martinez, the center fielder, and Robert Campillo, the first baseman tonight for the Tucson Champs. To the plate, outside, and misses. One ball, 1-0. Big swing and misses there. So the count goes to 1-1. One ball, one strike, nobody on. First batter here in the bottom of the first inning. Waves at one outside and does not get it. J.C. Burkett is on the mound. This one wrapped through the 5.5 hole, as they say, where Tony Gwynn, a major leaguer with the San Diego Padres for 15 years, 19 years as a matter of fact, made his living, the spot between third and short. So the leadoff hitter is on, and that'll bring up Ricky Martinez. Martinez not being particularly successful at the bat here in the stadium, and those are the only statistics we have. Our cumulative stats are somewhere out on the cloud. Ricky plays center field, and a very fine center field, as a matter of fact. This one skips off the top of the dugout. The Rincon Knights reserves kind of scrambled around to stay out of the way of that one. First pitch swinging. And the count is 0-1. At the set. Runner has a small lead at first. This one fouled back to the screen. And Ricky, coming into the stadium batting .222 on the year, is in a hole 0-2. Ricky did have a fine hitting game, 2 for 3 against the Kings about 4 games ago, but he has been 0 for since in the stadium. Martinez backs out. Federico at first base, reasonably decent lead. Fortunately for the Rincon Knights, the runner goes, and there's no throw down to second base, so the base is stolen. I was about ready to say that the Rincon Knights are not having to put up with the sun because it's gone behind the superstructure along the left foul line. So the right fielder, Keith Markle, is in the shade. Center fielder Parker Collette, little bit of sun still bathing him, but he is not looking in that direction. 1 ball and 2 strikes. At least the infielder's first baseman is not having a problem. This one just down low, and the count goes to 2-2. Wrigley McGuire at first has a little spottiness of sun, and the second baseman Alberto Nieto does have a little spottiness as well to this point. Martinez 2-2, nobody out, a runner on second with a stolen base there. Pitch is down low, and the count will go full. 6th pitch of the at-bat. Dominic Erickson is behind the plate for the Knights. Last time we saw him, he was at third base. So they try to move him around, give him an opportunity to see different positions. So when they go back to their college coaches, they might be ready to go somewhere else. Down low, a ball, and the first 2 batters get on. First walk given up by J.C. Burkett. Burkett just recently out of high school. He just graduated from Benson High School. He's going to be on his way to Adams State University, that is in Alamoso, Colorado. In this league, players that have completed their sophomore and freshman year in college and their senior year in high school are eligible. Robert Campillo steps in batting .308. Curveball catches the inside corner for a called strike. The on-deck hitter is the shortstop, Luis Zamorano. Oh and 1, Burkett has the upper hand right now on Campillo. Both runners go. The throw to third, high and away, and the third baseman reaching up to grab it. Ivan Gallego could not bring it down in time, and the double steal works. The pitch was a ball, and actually Erickson grabbed hold of it pretty well, but it's tough to throw around a right-handed hitter, and there is the reason that you run that double steal. The next pitch is a called strike. So runners in scoring position, 2 of them, 1 at second and 1 at third. Base hit and 2 stolen bases, a walk and 1 stolen base has created the situation, nobody out in the bottom of the first. Campillo has a ball thrown behind him as Burkett let one get away, and the count goes to 2-2. Zamorano in the on-deck circle, coming into the stadium batting .318. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, nobody out, bottom of the first inning. This one wrapped foul, left side, and will stay at 2-2. Joe Cominier, the manager out there for the Rincon Knights. Two and two to the plate. Lifted high, foul right side, and we'll go to the seventh pitch of the at-bat. And the count remains 2-2. Cochise Stars and Team Tucson in the first inning, no score. The Kings got one in their part of the first inning, so at the top of the first, the Kings over the Aztecs 1-0. To the plate, high for a ball. 3-2. First base is open. Certainly don't want to put anybody else on. The first baseman, Wrigley McGuire, is up on the grass. Comes to him. He's going home. The middle infielders are back, as is the third baseman, Gallego, and this one is wrapped into right center field. I don't think it has enough leg to get to the wall, but it'll still score two, as hustling over to get it is Parker Collette. And a two-run double to start things off here. Still nobody out. So 2 runs batted in, and the Tucson champs jump up on top 2-0 here in the bottom of the first inning. Mentioned in the opening notes that when these two teams have gotten together, there's been a lot of offense, and one side or the other seems to come up with an awful lot of runs to not so many for the other side. So we'll see which way it swings this time. Curveball drops in not quite enough and misses inside to Luis Zamorano. Zamorano is the shortstop tonight. With nobody out, he has a runner on second that he could pick up. Burkett, inside corner, called strike, 1-1. The on-deck hitter is Mikey Villa. Mikey plays in left field. One ball, one strike. Long look at second to the plate. Down low and misses. Looks like Burkett might be aiming that ball. A lot of times a young pitcher getting into a difficult situation early gets off of his game plan and begins to aim the ball rather than rearing back and throwing it. At the set. To the plate. Down low. This is the third batter in a row that Burkett has gone to a 3-ball count. 3-2 and walked Ricky Martinez. 3-2 and gave up a double RBI, 2 RBI double to Campillo. And now he is 3-1 to Zamorano. Nobody bothered by the sun anymore, as the sun has fallen behind the superstructure. This one fouled off and bangs off of our aluminum sunscreen, or aluminium if you prefer. So we'll go 3-2 now for the third batter in a row. First base is open, runner on second. At the set is J.C. Burkett, having a tough first inning here as he steps off, as Robert Campillo at second base kind of got his attention. Campillo got his double on the 8th pitch of the at-bat. We are on the 6th pitch here to Zamorano. To the plate, outside for a ball, and we'll put runners on first and second with nobody out and 2 runs in. Mikey Villa stepping in there, and he's swinging the bat here in the stadium at a .429 clip. And the next hitter will be Dylan Kaiser. Infield is medium deep. Outfield pretty much straight away and medium. Big swing and a miss by Villa outside part of the plate for a strike. Dominic Erickson behind the plate. At third base is Ivan Gallego. Shortstop is Alvaro Barnett. There's that curveball, and it hit him on the hand, first base. So that'll load him up as Villa goes to first base. Fortunately for him, it was an off-speed pitch, so the owie is not going to be quite as radical as it might have been otherwise. And so slowly coming out of the dugout for the visiting Rincon Knights will be Joe Comier. So we'll have to sit back for a second and to kill the sound. The reason for it is if we pick up any music in the background here, why we get copyrighted, even though Kino Sports Complex has paid the rights, but we can't get through to YouTube, so that's where it is. So we're going to quietly go away, and we'll come back when the action starts again. Dylan Kaiser steps in. Dylan not real successful here in the stadium as his batting average is 143. Now, once again, that may not be fair to him. He might be tearing it up out in the south field. First pitch to him is down and away. Left-handed hitter against the right-handed J.C. Burkett. Folks that are watching the video certainly can see that. My apologies for making an obvious statement, but we know that some people just listen. Outside corner for a ball, 2-0. No place to put him. Bases are loaded. Campillo at third, Zamorano at second, and Villa at first. 2 runs in and nobody out here. Outside corner misses, 3-0. So Burkett really struggling. Now I will say that JC came in a little bit late, and maybe he didn't have himself settled before he went out on the mound. High and away, and an RBI walk for Mr. Kaiser. So coming down from third base will be Campillo. That will move Zamorano over to third, and over to second will be Mikey Villa. And that will bring up Elijah Hart. Elijah playing right field where he is normally. He is batting .417 on the year. First pitch to him, a ball. So JC is having a tough outing here. 1 ball, no strikes. First and third are in on the grass. This one fouled straight back, and the count goes to 1-1. Ivan Gallego is at third, and he is on the infield grass. And Wrigley McGuire is at first, and he is also on the grass. Hit down past third, foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. On deck hitter is the second baseman, Patrick McMahon. One ball, 2 strikes, bases loaded, nobody out, 2 in the bottom of the first inning. This one popped up, coming straight back and will clear the screen. So the catcher, Dominic Erickson, didn't have an opportunity to get a hold of it. One ball, 2 strikes. Misses outside. 2-2 count. Jacob Frederico started things off with a base hit, stole 2 bases around to third. Ricky Martinez got a walk, and then a double struck him out. So that'll be the first out of the inning. Campillo has come around, got 3 on the board here for the Champs, and we aren't even warm in our seats as yet. Speaking about warm, 97 degrees at game time at Tucson International Airport, which is about 5 miles southeast of us. Patrick McMahon high and away for a ball, as J.C. Burkett is having a tough time getting that first pitch strike over. 4 out of the last 5, he's missed the first pitch strike. This one swung on and missed, 1-1. McMahon batting .250 here in the stadium. 1-1, bases loaded. To the plate, inside corner for a called strike, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kaiser on first, Villa on second, and Samorano on third. 3 in. And McMahon with a 1-2 count with only 1 out. Corner infielders looking to come to the plate. This one slowly hit down towards third. And foul. So our count will remain 1-2. Outside corner called strike, so 2 strikeouts now. And the second out here in the first inning. And that is balanced against 2 walks, 2 hits, and a hit batter. That'll cost you 3 almost every time, and it has to this point. The catcher, A.J. Van Bogart, big swing and a miss for a swinging strike. Van Bogart batting at even 200. Most of the time we see A.J. out in left field, but tonight he's behind the plate. Off-speed pitch, big slow swing and a miss, 0-2. Infield, of course, with 2 outs, has moved back. Burkett to the plate, outside for a ball. 2 balls, check that, 1 ball and 2 strikes. 3 runs on only 2 hits. Tucson Champs off to a great start here in the bottom of the first. High and inside misses. 2-2 count. There is some action now in the Rincon Knight bullpen. Drops down low. 3-2. Which is troubling because now everybody on the base paths will be off and running. And that means any hit to the outfield might even clear the bases. For sure we'll score 2 unless it's really belted. The runners are off and going, and it is a called strike at the knees. So 3 straight strikeouts gets J.C. Burkett out of the inning, but not before 3 come across. 3 runs on 2 hits, a couple of walks, and a hit batsman. Rincon Financial Group is a Tucson organization that understands the individual and what they face and challenges as they prepare for retirement. The Rincon Group is standing by to take the mystery out of preparing for today and tomorrow. What goal do you have? Retirement preparation, college savings, maybe estate strategy? Well, the personalized services of the Rincon Financial Group is ready to focus on your needs, wants, and financial goals. To the top of the second with the Rincon Knights down 3-0. The first pitch from Cole Altier to the center fielder Parker Collette is a called strike. Collette was in the All-Star game here over the 4th of July. Big swing and comes up with nothing but air. High and away for another ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. On deck hitter will be Ivan Gallego and then Wrigley McGuire, the first baseman. Parker 1-2, outside misses. Parker comes into the game at 2:33 here in the stadium. And once again, our cumulative stats did not come across for us. This one fouled off. The count will stay 2-2. We're in the top of the second inning. The wind blowing its normal left corner to right corner. It's a little brisk, not a lot. Might affect the ball a little bit. Big swing and a miss for a strikeout. That's the second strikeout recorded by Altier, as we'll go to Ivan Gallego. Gallego batting an even .500 here in the stadium. 4 for 8. To the plate. Hit down towards the shortstop. Zamorano up with it, double pumps and fires it over to first base. And that is the 5th out in a row to start things off here for the Tucson Champs as they lead it 3-0, pushing 3 across in the first inning. From the left side, Wrigley McGuire, the first baseman, steps in. McGuire having his troubles hitting here in the stadium, 167. First pitch to him is a ball. In that first inning, Altier threw 13 pitches. Fouled off. And out of those 13 pitches, 7 of them were thrown to Tyler Thomas, the leadoff hitter, before Tyler struck out. McGuire 1-1. Slow roller out to McMahon at second base, but he easily gets over and gets the out. And another very economical pitch inning here for Cole Altier as nothing comes across for the Rincon Knights in the top of the second. And after 1.5, it is the Champs 3 and the Knights nothing. Your Jimmy John's restaurant location in and around the Tucson area. Know how much you care about freshness. That's why they spend hours in preparation every day just to make your sandwich quickly and efficiently when you stop by. You get the freshest breads, all natural meats, and hand-sliced veggies every time. Stop by the store, or it's more convenient, order online at jimmyjohns.com. Well, we're down to the 10th hitter as 9 came to the plate for the Champs in the first inning, and they pushed across 3. So stepping up to bat here for the Tucson Champs, looking at the first pitch as a called strike, will be Sean Conboy. Sean is playing third base this evening. So Burkett out there for another inning of work, misses that one. And the count goes to 1-1. J.C. Burkett had a terrible first inning, just couldn't quite seem to find it. Second pitch, actually third pitch is a ball, 2-1. To the plate, 2-1, ripped, just foul, just outside of the screen there. Fortunately, everybody on that side of the infield is behind the screen. It hit one of the seats just above the dugout and ricocheted right back. So that could have been an ugly situation had we had a few more folks in the stands. 2-2 is the count. Off-speed pitch catches the outside corner. That is the fourth strikeout in a row for J.C. Burkett. He got the last three hitters in the bottom of the first inning and then has struck out the first batter here in the second. That'll bring up the top of the order, Jacob Federico. He got on with a base hit, a couple of steals, and then came around on the two-run double by Robert Campillo. First pitch to him misses high for a ball. Federico, the extra hitter tonight. You can have 10 in the lineup, including a designated hitter. Second one is high. And the count goes to 2-0. By the way, Burkett threw 46 pitches in that first inning. A little bit more efficient this time. Hit to right field, but right at Kenneth Markle, but he can't grab hold of it. He must have lost it somehow or other, as he very nonchalantly went over to reach up and grab it and could not find it. So we'll check and see. I don't believe that he touched it. So technically that will be a double. No indication on the board that it was an error, but Markle very nonchalantly went back and just reached up and somehow or other lost track of that ball completely. And the Knights, a little shoddy outfield work there. And that puts the Champs on target here to expand their three-run lead. First pitch to Ricky Martinez outside for a ball. Ricky walked in the first inning, stole second base, and then came around to score on that two-run double by Campillo. First base is open. One ball, no strikes. One out here. This one wrapped foul outside of third. 1 ball and 1 strike. Twilight time here in Kino Veterans Memorial Stadium. The lights are on, and they generally are on from the very beginning. The very rough outline that you see in the mountains in the background of the screen would be the Catalina Mountains. This one popped up on the infield. The pitcher, Burkett, is going to grab it. Actually, you have heart attacks when your pitcher starts being a fly ball fielder. Both the second baseman, Nieto, and McGuire, the first baseman, were right there. But Burkett went ahead and took it himself, and that is the second out of the inning. Campillo, he of the two-run double in the first inning, stepping in there. Came into the ballgame batting .308, and that will elevate with his double. Big swing on an off-speed pitch and misses. So Burkett doing a little bit better this inning. Gave up that one double. Frankly, should have been an out. If the fielder does not touch the ball, an error is not charged. And Markle did not touch the ball. Outside corner called strike, 0-2. So possibly Burkett's late arrival in the ballpark today hurt him in getting into the rhythm. which he finally got into at the bottom of the first inning, getting 3 strikeouts there, and a 4th one to start off here the second inning, then the double, and then the pop-up, and that is a swinging strikeout. 5th strikeout recorded by JC here in his 2 innings of work. Nothing across in the bottom of the second inning, but after 2 full innings of play, it is the Tucson Champs 3 and the Rincon Knights nothing. The Best Western Tucson International Airport Hotel and Suites features spacious guest rooms, 2-room suites with an upscale contemporary decor. Guest room amenities include complimentary internet, refrigerator, coffee maker, in-room safe. You can watch premium cable channels on a 42-inch flat-screen HD TV, and many rooms have patio doors opening out into a tranquil courtyard. A best place to stay. Best Western International Airport Hotel and Suites right here in Tucson. Needless to say, right by the airport. Leading off the top of the third inning and trying to get on the board for the Rincon Knights, Peyton Capullo. He's the left fielder. First pitch is a strike. Next one, swinging strike. He'll be followed by Alberto Nieto and Kenneth Markle. Capullo, .222 in his stadium appearances. This one banged right back up the middle for a base hit. Boy, that gives pitching coaches gray hair. 0-2 count, and he left one out over the plate so Capullo could get a bat on it. And good news for the Rincon Knights as they lead off the top of the third inning with a base hit. And there are all kinds of statistics that show that if you get that first man on, your opportunities for scoring a run elevate markedly. Second baseman Alberto Nieto looks at the first pitch as a called strike. Nieto, .292 here in the stadium. Infield at double play depth. Of course, Campillo at first, taking a play at first base, not in time, is covering the bag against Campillo. At the set, 0-1. Not much of a leadoff at first. It's fouled. Well, let's see. Apparently not. It was swung on and missed. The ball rolled away from the catcher, A.J. Van Bogart, and that allowed Campillo to get over to second base. So a runner in scoring position. Nieto down 0-2, however, the throw to second base, and rather awkwardly, Campillo gets back. Don't know if that was a timing play. It might have been because Altier never looked back. Wrapped down to the third baseman, can't handle it. It goes right through him. And they'll hold the runner up. And the runner goes to second base. Very, very heads-up play by Nieto. Getting over to grab it was Mikey Villa, but he took a long time to get over there. And Nieto took advantage of the situation. A two-base error on the third baseman, and a little bit of a judgment error on Mikey Villa, taking his time to get over and get that ball. Big swing to Kenneth Markle, and a strike on him. Now, Altier has gotten a first pitch strike to everyone so far this inning. First and third are in on the grass. Second pitch swung on and missed. Conboy at third and Campillo at first have moved in. Middle infielders Samarano and McMahon are back. Pitch misses outside for a ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nobody out. Runners on second and third. 2-base throwing error. This one floats high, and the count will go to 2-2. Center fielder Martinez mildly shallow. The 2 corner outfielders, Villa and Hart, are midway back. As I mentioned, first and third on the defense, up on the grass. Outside, misses for a ball. First base is open. 3-2 will be the count here as the Knights are threatening in the top of the third inning. They are down 3-0. Altier to the plate, swung on, high hopper is picked off by the pitcher Altier, and he throws to first base for the out. Before he looked the runner at third base, Campillo, back to the bag. So the first out of the inning, still no forced play, so first and third will more than likely squeeze in. Dominic Erickson is the batter, first pitch swinging, 0-1. Erickson batting .250 in his appearances here in the stadium. Has the opportunity, if he can get one down on the ground in the outfield, to possibly score 2 and narrow it down to a 1-run deficit. Around to bunt half-heartedly. Didn't even really extend the bat out there. I guess that he was trying a drag bunt. But howsomever, nothing happened. The ball was fouled off, and Erickson is behind 0-2. Every batter this inning, Cole has had them behind 0-2. And something has happened. Outside corner for a called strike. That is the third strikeout for Altier here. He's had 1 in each inning. And we'll go up to the top of the order. Tyler Thomas, who struck out swinging in the first inning in a 1-2-3 inning. So the only base runners, this one just caught the inside corner on a breaking pitch as Tyler Thomas leaned back and away from it. And the home plate umpire, Justin Altencio, rang him up, 0-1. Hard pitch outside corner, swung on and missed, 0-2. This is very unique in that all 5 batters that have been up this inning have been in the hole 0-2. The first hitter got a base hit. That was Campillo. Nieto got on a 2-base throwing error. That's how we got runners at second and third. Markle then bounced one back to the pitcher, and Erickson struck out. This one a line drive, leaning over and grabbing it is Altier, and that is the third out of the inning. Very, very unique inning. Each batter was in the hole 0-2, and yet the Rincon Knights had a threat that they were unable to cash in. So after 2.5 innings of play, it is the Tucson Champs 3 and the Rincon Knights nothing. Firestone Complete Auto Care is your go-to tire store in the greater Tucson area. Find the right tires online or in store. They have 5 locations: 7950 East Speedway, 4800 East Sunrise, 290 West Wetmore Road, 3501 East Broadway, and 2400 block of North First Street. Well, anywhere you go for complete auto care by Firestone, you will not be disappointed. Luis Samarano will start things off from the 4th spot in the lineup for the bottom of the 3rd inning for the Tucson Champs. He'll be followed by Mikey Villa and Dylan Kaiser. First pitch from J.C. Burkett, who only threw 14 pitches in the 2nd inning after 46 pitches in the 1st, is out there for his 3rd inning of work, and he too has a batter down 0-2 as Luis Samarano is 0-2. He got a walk in the 1st inning and got around to 3rd base, but that was as far as he went. Outside part of the plate, swinging strike for the first out of the bottom of the 3rd. That is the 6th strikeout for Burkett. He ran 4 strikeouts in a row after getting behind 3-0 in the 1st inning. Got 3 in a row there to strike out, and led off the 2nd inning with another strikeout. First pitch swinging by Mikey Villa. Villa got hit by a pitch in the 1st inning and got around to 2nd base, but that was about as far as he went. Off-speed breaking pitch outside, and I guess Burkett, not to be outdone, has decided to go 0-2 as often as he can here, as Mikey Villa, the the left fielder, is up there, and he's in a hole 0-2 with 1 out in the bottom of the 3rd. This one down low, as well it should be. You have a batter 0-2, you don't give him anything to hit. Couple of Knights going down to work in the bullpen there. We'll try to check and see who we have going out for Rincon. Okay, 14 and 28. We'll get names in a minute. Left center field ticket. Dive by the center fielder Collette. He can't come up with it. It'll go to the wall. Rounding 2nd base and going to challenge at 3rd. And unfortunately, Alvaro Barnett, the cutoff man, couldn't come up with the ball. And it will probably be scored as a triple. Don't see any more errors go up on the board. So the Champs, with 1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd, have a runner on 3rd base. Outside to Dylan Kaiser, the designated hitter. Dylan got an RBI by way of a bases-loaded walk in the 1st inning. That was the 3rd run of the inning. Outside corner for a called strike, 1-1. Next pitch misses for a ball, 2 balls and a strike. Mark Isis is one of the 2 ball players that went down to the bullpen. Pitch outside will go 3-1. But Isis is not listed as a pitcher, so we'll look down the line and see Jesse Carmona. And it doesn't say what position Jesse is, but I'm going to guess that he is the pitcher. Big swing on a pitch on the outside part of the plate. One thing that's very, very difficult to teach a young hitter is that something out there, you got to step that way and go with it. This one fouled off the end of the bat. And with the 7th pitch of the at-bat, we will look at a 3-2 count. 1 out, a runner on 3rd. Looks like the Knights might concede the situation there. Everybody is back. They are down 3-0. This one fouled off to the left side. Again to the left side. And that will bring up the 9th hit of the at-bat. Baseball knowledge is the more times that a batter gets to see pitches, the better opportunity he has to get a base hit. So Dylan Kaiser looking at the 9th pitch here from J.C. Burkett. on the knees for a looking strikeout. Second out of the inning, so the infield now won't be giving up anything by moving back to their, well, they were already back actually, move back to their deep positions or stay there. And that is Burkett's seventh strikeout. 7 strikeouts, and he's down 3-0. Fouled off to the right side, Elijah Hart. He was one of the strikeout victims. As a matter of fact, in the first inning, he was the first of 4 in a row that stretched from the first to the first batter in the second inning. 0-1, outside missing 1-1. So a one-out triple put Mikey Villa at third base, and up to this point, he has been frustrated there. 1 ball and 1 strike to the plate, wrapped into left field, and that'll bring the run home. So an RBI single with 2 outs, provided by Elijah Hart, the right fielder, and that will run the count up to 4. As Mikey Villa, who got a triple, that was all the way out to the alley, and the ball rolled all the way to the 390 mark. Peyton Capullo and Parker Collette had to hustle out there and get it. The cutoff man, the shortstop Barnett, unable to hold on to the cutoff throw, and that advanced the runner to third, who has now scored. Patrick McMahon struck out looking in the first inning. First pitch, a ball. Burkett to the plate, misses inside. 2-0 as Burkett went the first 2 batters here 0-2. Then got a called strikeout for the second out. Runner goes to second, throw down to the left field side, and unable to catch him. So a stolen base on the pitch that was a ball. 3 balls and no strikes. So with 1 in and 2 out, another runner in scoring position, Burkett came into the inning with 60 pitches. So he has had a day's work. Outside corner for a called strike. 3-1. 83 pitches to this point for the young man. Just graduated from high school. High school seniors are eligible here as long as they've graduated. 3-1, first base open. Outside corner called strike. 3-2. Well, that'll pretty much release Elijah Hart from second base. Realize he's not forced to go, but he will more than likely get a good head start. A swinging strikeout, third out of the inning. 3 strikeouts in the inning, and the 8th so far for Burkett. So he has really done a masterful job, and yet he's behind 4-0. 1 run across in the bottom of the third, and after 3 full innings of play, it is the Tucson champs by a score of 4-0 over the Rincon Knights. When you want really good Tex-Mex cuisine, go to Chewy's Mesquite Broiler at East 22nd and Co. Chewy's knows what Southwestern tastes are all about, and they are there to satisfy. Chewy's on 22nd Street is open until 10 o'clock weeknights and Sundays till 11 on Fridays and until midnight on Saturdays. Enjoy the food, check out the funky decor, and enjoy the drinks at Chewy's at East 22nd Street and Kalb. Up near the top of the order, the second hitter in the lineup is coming up there for the Rincon Knights as they try to get on the board here as they've gone through 3 innings with nothing. First pitch swinging, dropping it to shallow left field, but back there to get it is Luis Zamorano, the shortstop, and that will be the first pitch swinging, first out here in the top of the 4th inning. This might be the time to take a lot of pitches and see if you can wear Altier out. He's only thrown 42 pitches through the 3 innings. Was in a little bit of trouble with runners at second and third last inning, but is off and running here with a first out pop up to the shortstop, and that brings up Alvaro Barnett. Barnett grounded out to the third baseman Conboy. Leans back out of the way of one that kind of shaved him a little close there. Outside corner for a called strike, and we'll go 1-1. Alvaro batting .333 in his appearances here in the stadium, and he was on the All-Star team. This one topped out towards the pitcher. Altier out to get it, guns it to first base and gets the out. Second out of the inning. Parker Collette will step up there. Parker is the center fielder, and he is one of the several players from warm areas, i.e. southern Arizona or Las Vegas, where he graduated from high school at Avery View High School in Las Vegas. But interestingly enough, first pitch to him is a ball, is that so many of these players are going to cold weather areas. There are 5 players on this team from Williston State out to right field. Elijah Hart over to get it, and it carries over his head. That'll be at least a double, as holding up at second base will be Parker Collette, and that's only the second hit given up by Cole Altier. That ball carries very well here in Tucson because of the warm air. Game time, the temperature was 97 degrees, and we'll check and see if it's dropped down any since then. And that will bring up Ivan Gallego. Gallego grounded out to Zamorano in the second inning. We have a couple of outs with a runner in scoring position at second base. This is the second inning in a row, pitch fouled off by Gallego for a strike. Second inning in a row that the Knights have had a runner on second base or third base. Well, it's dropped all the way down to 95 degrees. I might need to break out my jacket here pretty quickly. Anyway, the point is all these kids from Williston State in Williston, North Dakota, second pitch is a called strike, 0-2. Another one of our teams has 5 players from Preservation College in Aberdeen, South Dakota, where I have firsthand knowledge that it was minus 32 degrees at one time this winter. 0-2, way outside. Nice job by Van Bogart to get out there and make sure it didn't go back to the screen. One ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs, top of the 4th inning. This one reaches out and lifts it just over the second baseman's head, and because it was 2 outs, Collette was able to take off running, and that is a base hit and an RBI for Gallego, and it brings around Parker Collette, who got a double on a play that probably should have been flagged down, although I'm not out on the field and I don't see how the ball carries, but as I said, it does carry fairly well here in the warm night air. So a 2-out score, and the Knights are on the board 4-1. Quick throw to first base. Campillo grabs it and puts the tag down, but it's not in time. Wrigley McGuire, the first baseman for the Rincon Knights, is up there. Second throw over to first base and doesn't get him. Wrigley grounded out to the second baseman McMahon in the second inning. To the plate, first pitch high and away for a ball. And we're going to have to go searching for our team once again here. We're having lots of troubles with these electronic scoring things. Second pitch is a swinging strike, and the count goes to 1-1. So Altier, only giving up his second hit, actually third hit of the game, gets scored on. Nice move to first base, but there again, I'm not sure you want to show that move quite so soon. I realize you want to make sure that they know that you're watching. Two balls and a strike. On-deck hitter is Peyton Capullo, left fielder who got a base hit his first time up in the third inning. This one lifted foul and off to our left. Where's my net? Doggone it, I missed another ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top of the fourth inning, 1 across, runner on first base. We'll check on our outlying scores if we can. Big swing and doesn't get it. That is the 4th strikeout recorded by Altier. 3rd out of the inning. But Cole gives up a run here in the top of the 4th. And after 3.5 innings of play, it is the Tucson Champs 4 and the Rincon Knights 1. Elite Sporting Goods is a store specializing in equipment and uniforms for not only sports but schools. Also, they do a lot of company business. They have a full range of services, including silk screening, embroidery, heat press, custom printing, banners, and a whole lot more. Elite Sporting Goods is over there on South Campbell at 3640. Stop by, call, or find them on the web. Elite Sporting Goods. The hitter is Ben Bogard. He is the catcher. He's the 9th batter in the lineup, and we have a new pitcher in there. That is Jesse Camora. So Camora takes over after J.C. Burkett threw 86 pitches. First pitch swinging right off the glove of Gallego at third base and hit into left field. I don't think the official score will give that an error, as it got out to Gallego in one quick hurry. Keeping an eye on the scoreboard now. Sean Conboy stepping up. He was a strikeout victim of Burkett. In the second inning, Burkett had 8 strikeouts, but he had given up 4 runs. And the Rincon Knights decided to make a change. Big swing by Conboy. No balls and a strike. Conboy coming into the ball game in the stadium here, batting .222. So he's had his struggles a bit in the stadium. Van Bogart, the catcher, on first base, and more than likely with the second pitch swinging. They have a courtesy runner over there. Of course, they don't have numbers on the fronts of the uniforms here, so it's hard to tell who is out there, but they consistently do that with a catcher. 0-2. Off-speed pitch drops right in there and catches him looking. First out of the inning, and that will bring up the top of the order, Jacob Federico. Jacob got a base hit in the first inning, stole 2 bases around to third, and then came home on Campillo's 2-run double. That happened in the first inning. 3 runs across in the first inning for the Tucson Champs, the home team down the third baseline. That's where their dugout is. And then Federico came back and pounded a double. First pitch, big swing, and doesn't get anything. But unfortunately, he stayed at second base with a pop-out and a strikeout. There had been a strikeout previous to his double. So Burkett had flashes of brilliance, but had thrown an awful lot of pitches. And to make sure that the young arm of the recently graduated high school senior did not wear out after 86 pitches, very astutely, Joe Comier, the manager for the Rincon Knights, pulled him. So we have Jesse Camaro, left-hander, inside misses. 2 balls and a strike. Jesse, a recent graduate of South Point High School here in the greater Tucson area, down on the south side. Outside, I'm confusing that with Sunnyside. I'm not real familiar with the high schools, unfortunately, yet. Not a long-time resident of Tucson. I believe South Point is, in fact, on the east side. Sunnyside is on the south side. Anyway, 3-1, 1 out here. This one lifted high on the right side. Back to look at it is Wrigley McGuire, but the second baseman should be taking it, and he does. Alberto Nieto gets over there and grabs the pop-up. Very, very, very expressed rules about balls that are in the air, and that's one of the things that we used to teach immediately so that we didn't have any collisions. And basically anything that first or third has to back up to try to get, it needs to be taken by shortstop or second base. Anything that they have to back up to get needs to be taken by an outfielder. Ricky Martinez, the hitter, got a walk and came around to score in the first inning. The runner goes on an off-speed pitch, and no way they're going to get him. He almost came off the bag, but he does steal the base successfully. First pitch to Martinez is a ball. Ricky popped out to the pitcher at the time, J.C. Burkett. That was in the second inning. So he is 0 for 1, came into the ball game batting .222. Couple of outs here in the top of the fourth inning. Take that back, the bottom of the fourth. The Knights did score a run in the top of the fourth. Knees, corner, strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Robert Campillo, the first baseman who has a .300 batting average and has a 2-run RBI double in the first inning, is the next hitter. Off-speed pitch drops right in there for a called strike. Camaro with a nice arm action, throwing both the fastball and that breaking pitch with pretty much the same arm action. And boy, does that mess up hitters. Woo! 1 ball, 2 strikes, timeout called at the plate. Home plate umpire Justin Atencio. Swung on and hit to the right side. If it's into the corner, diving attempt by Markle, and it drops in there, that's going to result in a run and 3 bases. That was planted right in the corner at the 340 sign. Markle laid out to try to grab hold of it, but was unable to do so. So another run across here for the Champs, and they lead it 5-1, and they get back the run that they gave up in the top of the fourth inning. Boy, Ricky came out of the box thinking triple all the way. It was a do or die for Kenneth Markle in right field, as he was unable to track it down despite a valiant effort out there. So a run comes across, charged to Kamora, who came in relief here in the bottom of the fourth inning. J.C. Burkett threw 86 pitches through 3 innings and gave up 4 runs. Outside, nice job by catcher Erickson to get out there and take a look at it. Campillo is the hitter. On the board, they got lights out. It looks like number 20 is up there. Fouls the ball off, so we have 1 ball and 1 strike. Campillo, his last time up, made the 3rd out of the 2nd inning, which despite a double in there was a 1, 2, 3, 4 inning. And it looked like J.C. Burkett was back on track, but struggled through the 3rd inning and gave up another run. This one lifted high to shallow right center field. That's going to be the center fielder's ball, but in case otherwise, Kenneth Markle steps over there and grabs it. So there again, those rules. Anything that the center fielder can get, you generally turn them loose and let them go after it. But in this case, the right fielder, Markle, got over there and recorded the 3rd out. So in the bottom of the 4th inning, 1 more comes across, and after 4 full innings of play, it is the Tucson Champs 5 and the Rincon Knights 1. Yes, it's called Kino Sports Complex, but it's much more than just sports. Director Maureen Ochoa and her great crew have successfully staged trade shows, corporate meetings, conferences, fundraising events, and private parties in and around the Kino Stadium site. So, whether it's a sports activity or something else, give the Kino Sports Complex a call to find out how convenient and successful your event can be right here at Kino Sports Complex and Kino Veterans Memorial Stadium. Top of the 5th inning, the positions 7, 8, and 9 will come up here, and they'll be facing Cole Altier. First pitch bends him over, but doesn't hit him. Capullo, the left fielder, got a base hit in the 3rd inning. To the plate, 1-0. Outside corner for a called strike, 1-1. So Altier, 4 strikeouts through 4 innings of work, has given up 1 run. Lifted high on the right side. Looking up at it is Campillo, the first baseman, and he gets into shallow right field and grabs it for the first out of this, the top of the 5th inning. The Knights got 1 in their top of the 4th inning, but unfortunately for them, gave it right back in the bottom of the 4th, and there's still a 4-run differential with the Champs on top by a score of 5-1. Alberto Nieto is up there First pitch he kind of goes for, but holds back, and it's a ball. Alberto came into the stadium with a .292 batting average, got on to second base. Ooh, this one fouled off. The on-deck hitter, Kenneth Markle, never saw it coming. It just missed him in the on-deck circle. Boy, you got to be alert out there, folks. Got to be alert. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nieto got to second base, as I started to say, on a throwing error. Drops down in there for a called strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. That is the one error that we've had in the ball game. Earlier in the season, before these teams kind of had a chance to settle in, we were having far too many errors, sweeping out to throw the bat at the ball and therefore getting a strike. The catcher, Van Bogart, couldn't hang on to it, but hustled out and got it to first base for the put out at first base. Although a strikeout credited to Altier, that's his 5th on the evening, and the second out here in the top of the 5th inning. First pitch by Markle fouled off. I don't think the young man knows how close he came. Wow. That ball was rifled and it just missed him in the on-deck circle. Pitch outside for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Markle, playing right field, made a valiant effort to dive after a ball and try to corral it as it went into the corner. It wound up as a triple and an RBI there. And that's how the run came across for the Champs. One ball and 2 strikes now on Markle. Altier threw 4 2/3, 5 strikeouts. Has not given up a walk as yet. This one fouled off into the stands on the right side, and the count will remain 1 ball and 2 strikes. Infield of Convoy, Samarano, McMahon, and Campillo, reading from third to short to second to first. Pitch outside for a ball, squared up at 2-2. Outfield, Villa in left, Martinez in center, and Hart in right. Behind the plate is A.J. Van Bogart, and the starter is still on the mound. Swung on, lost by the catcher, but we'll run it to first base, and that'll be the 3rd out of the inning. 6th strikeout on the ball game here for Altier, and that will end the top of the 5th inning with nothing across. After 4 1/2, it is the Tucson Champs 5 and the Rincon Knights 1. Casal has been a leader in all aspects of fire protection since 1982. Casal Fire Protection serves both home and business locations by providing design, planning, and management of your fire protection needs. Casal has an extensive knowledge in fire protection, and they work very hard to keep their fine reputation. Look online to find Casal Fire Protection Company, first in quality, serving with pride. As we head off to the bottom of the 5th inning, Jesse Camaro is still on the mound. He took over in the 4th inning, so this is his 2nd inning of work. First pitch to Luis Zamorano is fouled off to the right side. Luis got a walk on base on balls in the 1st inning and struck out in the 3rd. Luis, one of the All-Stars in this season, 2019, for the Sun Belt College Summer Baseball League. One of 4 players on this team attending Pima Community College as a 2017 graduate of Tucson High School in the greater Tucson area. Fouls off to the right side, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Just noticed that both Zamorano and Elijah Hart have had birthdays during the league here. To the plate, on the corner, called strikeout looking. First out of the 5th inning. And that is the 2nd strikeout for Camora. That will bring up Mikey Villa. He got hit by a pitch thrown by J.C. Burkett in the 1st inning and then ripped a triple off of Burkett in the 3rd and came around to score when Elijah Hart got a base hit and brought him around. This one whacked out towards the shortstop. Alvaro Barnett over to get it. Very fine looking, ranging to his right side. And that is always a tough play, being able to get over to your right, change momentum, and get that kind of mustard on the throw. 17 pitches for Camaro in the inning before. And right now he has 5 pitches and 2 outs. Dylan Kaiser, who took J.C. Burkett to the 9th pitch of his at-bat and struck out looking. This one lifted to right center field, and it will get down. Hustling over to cut it off is Collette, and he does so, and that will be a long single. So a 2-out base hit, and on first base is Dylan Kaiser. Elijah Hart, his RBI single in the 3rd inning, got another run to ramp the Tucson Champs up to a 4-0 lead at that time. Elijah struck out swinging in the 1st inning. One of the 8 strikeouts for J.C. Burkett, who threw 86 pitches through 3 innings, and they have him out of there. Nice off-speed pitch to start Elijah Hart off. Called strike. Oh, 1 to Hart. Outside for a ball. Erickson backhands it and gets it back to the pitcher. 1 ball and 1 strike. Couple of outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Runner on first base. Still pretty toasty warm here. Haven't checked exactly, but I doubt very seriously if it's gone below 90. Hine outside for a ball, 2-1. Checking the infield for the Knights. Gallego at 3rd. Burnett is at short. Nieto at 2nd, and McGuire at 1st. Behind the plate, Dominic Erickson. 3-1 goes the count. The base hit that brought the run around last inning was recorded with 2 outs, so Camora doesn't want to get too loose and easy here with a couple of outs and a runner on first base. Walk. Runners on first and second now. And checking the thermometer, 92 degrees. Started off at 97 at game time. And a couple of times, quite frankly, in the ball game, we've seen a ball carry and fool an outfielder. At bat, Patrick McMahon. McMahon 250 as he entered the ball game. Struggled a bit at the plate. Struck out looking in the first and struck out swinging in the third. But this is the first time that he has faced Camora. Runners on first and second. just misses on a breaking pitch on the inside part of the plate, 1-0. The Champs with a 5-1 lead here in the bottom of the fifth inning. And a chance to get another one with a runner in scoring position at second. Runners go, and it's fouled off. It had to be a hit and run. You would not send Dylan Kaiser, no offense to the young man, but he does not run all that well. However, he does have a stolen base this year. He tried to get in a rundown between first and second with a runner on third and less than 2 out. Actually, there were 2 outs. They were trying to buy a run, basically. And the team that he was playing said, nah, go ahead, go to second base. It's okay. So he has a stolen base on the year. I'm pretty sure the hit and run was on there. Otherwise, you wouldn't send Dylan. Love him. Big, wonderful smile. But he's certainly not a threat to anybody with any kind of speed. Ball is inside. I was going to say Manute Bol, but that isn't fair because he's the fastest human. So, oh well. 2 balls and a strike. Runners on first and second. We have a couple of outs here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Inside to McMahon. And for the second batter in a row, we'll go to a 3-1 count. Don't have much information on Mr. McMahon, except that he is an outfielder, but he's playing second base tonight. Go figure. 3-1, lifted right side. It'll make the stands, so it's going to go 3-2, which also creates a problem. Because at 3-2, both Kaiser from second and Elijah Hart from first will be able to take off with the pitch. I think if I knew that Kaiser was at second base, I'd almost try to deke him and try to pick him off at second. They're not going to do that. He's dancing around out there right now, though. Runners move. Ball is down low. And it will be the second walk in a row. And that will load them up. Dylan Kaiser moves over to third base. That will move Elijah Hart to second. And Patrick McMahon goes to first. That'll bring up the catcher, A.J. Van Bogart. Bogart 1 for 2, struck out looking in the first inning. Got a base hit and came around to score on Martinez's triple. That was in the fourth. Kimura rocks and fires, sends the first one up there, and it's fouled off into the stands on the right side. They're loaded. There are 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the fifth inning. To the plate, off-speed pitch swung on and could not find it. Van Bogart kind of bounces his right fist saying, 0-2. So maybe Jesse will escape here. Once again, an off-speed pitch right over the heart of the plate, swung on and missed for the third out of the inning. That is the third strikeout for Kimura. And nothing across despite the fact the bases were loaded, albeit with 2 outs. So nothing across in the bottom of the fifth inning. And with 5 full in the books, we go to the Tucson Champs 5 and the Rincon Knights 1. How does this sound at O'Reilly Chevrolet? Newer car, lower payments. O'Reilly Chevrolet has car financing experts who can do just that for you. Now what can you lose? Just call O'Reilly Chevrolet and see what they can do for you. Or, hey, here's a better idea. Stop by O'Reilly Chevrolet at 6160 East Broadway and find out firsthand. O'Reilly Chevrolet, the good folks that know how to provide the best in sales and service. They are also winding down their 95th anniversary tent sale, so there are deals to be had on brand new cars, trucks, and SUVs. O'Reilly Chevrolet. To the 10th man in the order as we start off on the 6th inning, top of the 6th inning. First pitch to Dominic Erickson, the catcher for the Rincon Knights, is a called strike. Cole Altier still on the mound, 69 pitches through 5 innings, 6 strikeouts, no walks. High and away for a ball. He has given up 1 run and on total of only 3 hits. So Cole Altier sliding right along here at a 1-1 count to the leadoff hitter in the 6th. This one fouled off into the stands on the left side. 1 ball and 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes. This one hit right back to Altier. He's been busy defensively tonight. That is the 3rd assist that he's had on the evening on a ball that has been hit back to him. 2 of them were on the ground. 1 was a rifled line drive that he got his glove on. So not only is Cole Altier doing a job pitching, but he is doing a defensive job as well. First out here in the top of the 6th inning, Tyler Thomas will come up. Tyler 0 for 2. He was the one that ripped the line drive right back at Altier back in the 3rd inning. First pitch swinging and fouling onto the right field stands. Now, as you probably note when I say right field stands, that's down the foul line. We don't have any stands out in the outfield grass. This one lifted to shallow right field. It's going to be trouble, but getting into it is Elijah Hart, and he drops it. So Elijah got off to a pretty good start on it and thought sure that he had a line on it, but maybe he let up right as the ball got right there and dropped it, so an error on the right fielder. That will be the 2nd error committed by the Tucson Champs. And with a runner on first base, that'll bring up Sam Gustafson. Sam is the extra hitter tonight, is 0 for 2. First pitch inside, nice job by Van Bogart to slide over and make sure it didn't get past him and put a runner in scoring position. Sam batting .400 in the stadium this year, but of course that's dropped down a little bit after going 0 for 2. Next pitch is a ball, and it will be 2-0. Sam grounded out to the second baseman McMahon in the 1st and popped up to the shortstop Samorano in the 4th inning, called strike. 2 balls and a strike. Try to pick up scores from the outlying field. Right now our little let me know what's going on thingamabig is not working. Inside corner, called strike. Puts it out at Dosey. 2-2. So we'll have to search what's going on out there. Hopefully that'll come up with it. 2-2 pitch. Off speed inside corner, called strike. Looking. That's going to be the 7th strikeout for Altier. He has yet to walk a batter. And we're into the 6th inning with 2 outs now. And he would have been out of the inning here. Alvarado Barnett, the shortstop, steps in there, and he is 0 for 2 as Altier is putting on quite a show tonight. To the plate, inside corner, called strike. So the Kings and the Aztecs in the 6th inning are all tied up at 5-5. That's in the 6th inning. We'll try to catch that other score in a minute. Fouled straight back. So Barnett is behind 0-2 with a couple of outs and a runner on here in the top of the 6th inning. This one lifted into center field. Going back for it is Martinez. He's got a beat on it, and he's got the out. So even though you would rather not put a ball anywhere near a batter to be able to get the bat on it with an 0-2 count, Altier does just that, but is survived when Ricky Martinez drops back and grabs the ball. So that ends the top of the 6th inning, nothing across. And after 5.5 innings of play, it is the Tucson Champs 5 and the Rincon Knights 1. The top Tucson driving school is Stop and Go Driving School. Learning to drive is not just something you do to pass your test and get your license. You do it to make sure that you're safe on the road. Hundreds of thousands of automobile accidents happen every year, many of them fatal. With the Stop and Go Driving School expert teachers, you'll be best placed to keep yourself safe. Certified driver's education courses are available at Stop and Go Driving School. Champs come up and they start the top of the 6th inning. Check that, the bottom of the 6th inning with a 4-run lead here. And the first pitch, a ball. Sean Conboy, third baseman tonight, has struck out twice looking. So he will try to get things started here, and then we'll go to the top of the order. Jacob Federico and Ricky Martinez. Misses outside. The pitcher is Jesse Kimura. Kimura came in the 4th inning. He gave up a run in the 4th, escaped a bases loaded situation in the 5th, and now we're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Pitch swung on and sent off to the left side and into the stands. We'll check the scores on the outlying fields here after this pitch. 2 balls and a strike just starting off the bottom of the 6th inning. Swung on and powdered into the stands on the left side. So it is the 6th inning, and we have a couple of great games going on out there. The Old Pueblo Kings and the Aztecs are tied at 5-5, and the Cochise Stars in the 7th inning, along with the Team Tucson, they are tied at 1-1. 2-2 count here. Lifted into shallow left field, coming on strong is the left fielder Capullo, and he gathers it in. He was playing relatively shallow, surprisingly enough, and gathers in the fly out to left field for the first out of the bottom of the 6th inning. Extra hitter Jacob Federico scored the first run of the game for the Champs as they plated 3 in the 1st inning. Got a base hit, stole a couple of bases, and came around on a double. Then he did his own double in the 2nd inning and then popped out to the catcher in the 4th. First pitch to him is a ball. Federico coming into the game here in the stadium with a 167 batting average, but he is 2 for 3 tonight. Now, once again, we mentioned that those averages have nothing to do with what has gone on out in the South Fields and games out there. Our collective scoring program that right after we bought it, they merged with somebody else and they made some changes. So the on-site stuff is working just fine, but somehow the cumulative stuff is out there in the cloud. 2-0, off-speed high, 3-0. Kimura is now in his 3rd inning of work, has 3 strikeouts, a couple of walks, and a run across. Not in this inning, of course, as we're just starting off with 1 out. Called strike, the automatic, if you will. They do have some action out in the Knights bullpen. Nothing going on the other side as Cole Altier is just breezing along here, giving up only 1 run through 6 innings of work. This one lifted high to center field. Dropping back as Parker Collette. Looks like he has a bead on it, and he does indeed. So a fly out to center field will be the second out here in the bottom of the 6th inning, and that will bring up Ricky Martinez. Martinez slapped the ball out towards the 340 mark in right field, and it dropped in despite a great effort by Kenneth Markell. Laid out and tried to grab it, unable to do so. So Ricky got a triple in the 4th inning, got all the way around to third, of course, but there were 2 outs, and the next out was a fly out to Markell in right, and that ended the threat. High fastball swinging and not getting it. Gallego Barnett on the left side of the infield, Nieto and McGuire on the right side of the infield. 0-1 at the letters for a called strike. Not exactly sure that Ricky agreed with that. Dominic Erickson is behind the plate for the Knights, and outfield Capullo, Collette, and Marco swinging left to right. 0-2, fouled off. Couple of young ladies giving chase to the ball, searching around for it, and by golly, she got it. 0-2, 4th pitch of the at-bat. Couple of outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning with the Champs leading 5-1. To the plate, fouled straight back. Generally, you'd like to throw something down in the dirt, possibly a split finger fastball. Don't want to give that hitter an opportunity to get the bat on the ball when you've got him 0-2. Way outside. So the 6th pitch of the at-bat will make it 1-2. Trying to pick up a number in the Knights bullpen, unable to do so at this time. I'm going to make a rule in this league and every league that's on the planet. You got to have numbers on the front of your shirt. Lifted high, right center field, converging is Collette and the right fielder Markle, and Markle grabs it for the 3rd out. So a 3-up, 3-down inning, and nothing across for the Champs in the bottom of the 6th inning. So after 6 full innings of play, Tucson Champs 5 and the Rincon Knights 1. Hey, come see the difference at Goliath Auto Sales. They're the no-pressure used car dealership at 5170 North La Cholla Boulevard in Tucson. One of their recent customers, John of Tucson, wrote a letter and it said, "It is the most painless deal I have ever had in buying a car. I would highly recommend Goliath Auto Sales. For value pricing and affordable vehicles, make sure that you check out Goliath Auto Sales." Cole Altier is out for his 7th inning of work. He will face 4, 5, and 6. First pitch to Parker Collette, the center fielder, is a called strike. Collette has a double and scored the only Knights run. That came in the 4th inning. Next pitch is high for ball 1-1. Collette struck out in the 2nd, and as I mentioned, doubled and scored in the 4th. 5-1 and score in favor of the Tucson Champs. Big swing and doesn't get it. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Checking for some defensive changes if there have been any. This is about the time they do this. Swung on, but the catcher does not grab hold of it, so Van Bogart comes out throwing to Campillo at first base, and that will be the first out here of the top of the 7th inning. It will also be the 8th strikeout. 87 pitches to this point for Cole Altier. Nobody is, well, now they do have somebody warming up out in the bullpen. The batter is the third baseman, Ivan Gallego. Gallego, a base hit. His RBI drove home Collette in the 4th inning. And then back in the 2nd inning, a ground out to the shortstop, Samarano. Next pitch is a called strike, 1 ball and 1 strike. Wrigley McGuire is the scheduled on-deck hitter, but it looks like we might have a pinch hitter for Wrigley. This pitch knocked into the stands along the right field side. Okay, Angel Marquez apparently is going to come in as a pinch hitter for McGuire, and we'll look and see where he goes. Pitch just misses, gets a ooh from the Tucson Champs bench, and their crowd for that matter. High and away, 3-2 will go. Foul back to the screen. 6th pitch of the at-bat will be coming up. Actually, the 7th pitch. Count will be 3-2. Looking at the defensive alignment, and it is the same as it has been. Waved at it, and once again, the catcher does not come up with it. Van Bogart really is not at fault, because Altier has been throwing that 3rd strikeout way off the plate, and it is totally fooling the Tucson Champs hitters, the Rincon Knights hitters, and that'll be the 9th strikeout of the ball game for Altier. That'll bring up Angel Marquez. Marquez coming into the stadium batting .111, gets a called strike for his first look at Altier. He is up there as a pinch hitter for Wrigley McGuire. Outside for a ball, 1-1. Generally about the 3rd at-bat, sometimes only the 2nd at-bat, they begin to make changes here. One of the things about the managers here in the Sun Belt League is that they have to get as many at-bats for as many players as they can, because they, of course, report back to the college coaches who recommended that they come here. Swung on and missed, 2-2. There are like 325 of these wood bat leagues, or teams all around the nation. The one thing that's unique about this one here is the fact that there is no travel. All the teams play on this beautiful former Major League training facility, in which there are 7 fields. 3-2, Rocks and Fires, swung on and missed. He strikes out the side. 10th strikeout for Altier through 6 innings. Check that, 7 innings of work. And that will end the top of the 7th inning. Nothing across, and after 6.5 innings of play, it is 5 for the Tucson Champs and 1 for the Knights. The Rincon Financial Group is a Tucson organization that understands that individuals face unique challenges as they prepare for retirement. The Rincon Group is standing by to take the mystery out of preparing for today and tomorrow. What's your goal? Retirement preparation, college savings plans, estate strategy? Well, the personalized services of the Rincon Financial Group is standing by ready to focus on your needs, wants, and financial goals. The Rincon Financial Group. New pitcher on the mound here. Emilio Gonzalez will be on the mound for the Rincon Knights, and the first batter that he will face will be the left fielder Peyton Capullo. Capullo 1 for 2 tonight, got a base hit in the third inning and popped out to the first baseman in the fifth. So we are in the bottom of the seventh inning here. One ball and one strike. Robert Campillo, the first baseman, had a 2-run double in the first inning, and that got things started off for the Champs. Since that time, he struck out and flown out just fair inside the bag at third base and into the corner. Campillo rounds first, and he will glide into second base. He's showing no inclination to try to stretch it any farther than that. So a leadoff double here for the Tucson Champs as they are up by a score of 5-1, and therefore greeted the new pitcher, Emilio Gonzalez, graduate of Sojarro High School in 2018. Shortstop, the batter, Luis Samarano. He has struck out his last 2 times at bat. Last time looking, previous to that, swinging. He got a walk in the first inning. So coming into the stadium at 318, 0 for 2. We'll drop that down a bit. A double leading off things here in the bottom of the seventh. Inside corner for a called strike. Very deliberate on the mound, Gonzalez. Long look back at second base. Takes a second look back there and steps off. Wind playing, the wind staying fairly steady. Left corner to right corner. Still messing around with the runner at second. Big swing by Samarano, doesn't get it. 0-2. Third pitcher being used by the Rincon Knights tonight. J.C. Burkett had a tough first inning, only lasted 3. Then Jesse Camoro came in. This one wrapped out past the second baseman. No, he grabs it, Barnett, to first base on a bounce and doesn't get the out there, so it's going to be an infield base hit. Nice job by Campillo at second base, kind of hanging on to see what was going to happen. I thought the ball was going to get by Barnett at shortstop, but when he grabbed it, Campillo had not taken off for third, and as soon as the throw was made, he made a move to third, and that will put runners at first and third with nobody out here in the bottom of the seventh inning. Runner goes from first base, the throw down to second on a hop and dropped by the shortstop, Barnett. So we will have 2 runners in scoring position now. The stolen base on the ball thrown to Mikey Villa. Villa had a triple in the third inning and came around to score. Got hit by a pitch in the first and grounded out to Barnett at shortstop, swinging, missing, 1-1. That happened in the fifth inning. Infielders are on the grass. They're going to try to knock down anything that comes their way, as the Knights cannot afford to have any more runs across. They're down by 4 now, and they only have 2 more at-bats to make that up. Off-speed pitch fouled off to the right side and into the stands. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Villa goes to Arizona Christian University out of South Point. Well, he isn't actually at the university yet, as he just graduated from South Point, but he's on the way to Arizona Christian University. Swinging, fouled off. Count will remain 1-2. that Arizona Christian University up in Glendale, Arizona. So that's where the young man is headed to play baseball when school starts in August or September, whenever they do it up there. Inside corner misses. And the sixth pitch of the at-bat will be coming up with a 2-2 count and runners on second and third. Nobody out here in the bottom of the seventh inning. And the Knights cannot afford to let another run in. They have 2 innings to make up 4. That'll be tough enough. Off-speed pitch misses inside and will go 3-2. Not a time for the pitcher to get lazy here. Yes, first base is open. And actually, if he does lose him, that's not going to be a crisis because then they've got a force out at all the bases. 3-2. Right side, it's going to go foul. Foul by about 5 feet. Eighth pitch of the at-bat coming up here. And, of course, as you well know, anytime a right-handed hitter hits the ball to right field, it's going to be slicing towards the line. And even though it started off looking fair, it was slicing and got along the warning track along the right field stands and went foul. 3-2. Up and away for a ball. Batter didn't know that it was ball 4. Come on, folks, you got to be aware of what the count is. So the bases are loaded, nobody out, and Dylan Kaiser will be coming up. Dylan got a base hit his last time out. Before that, he has struck out looking. That was in the third inning, and he got a walk in the first inning to load him up. Actually, he got a walk in the first inning when they were loaded and got an RBI out of that walk. So he's in that exact same position here. And also, nobody out. Ball skirts away from Erickson, but he scurries back and gets a hold of it. Alec Larson has moved to shortstop now. So on the defense, it is Larson at short. Inside, spun Kaiser around, 2 balls. So Alec Larson steps in at shortstop for Barnett. Check and see if there are any other defensive changes. 2-0. Kaiser up to the bat. Had a thought, held off. 3-0. He walked on a 3-0 count in the first inning. So deja vu all over again. Nieto is still at second. Angel Marquez has gone into first base. So we'll make that change in a second. 3-0. Hits it left side foul. So Wrigley McGuire is out defensively, and Angel Marquez, who came in to pinch hit, is now at first base. And we will check the outfield in just a second. 3 balls and a strike. Bases loaded. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Outfield of Capullo in left field, Collette in center, and Marco in right, and that's what they've had all along. At the set, 3-1. Big swing by Mr. Kaiser and doesn't come up with it. 3-2. Infield is in. As if you are viewing, you can see. If you're listening, you needed to know. 5-1 is the score. Champs. This one lifted to left center field. Getting over to grab it is the left fielder Capullo, and the run goes to score, and everybody moves up. So Kaiser gets a fly out to left field. Sacrifice fly, his second RBI of the game. And very alertly, the runners at first and second also moved up. So there are still runners in scoring position at second and third. with a run in here. So our count goes to 6-1, and that creates an even bigger mountain for the Knights when they come up in the top of the 8th and top of the 9th. Elijah Hart is the hitter. First pitch backs him off the plate for a ball. Elijah is 1 for 2. Got an RBI single in the 3rd inning. Before that, he struck out, and after that, he walked. Second pitch, a ball. So Emilio Gonzalez, in all of the batters except one that he's faced here in the 7th inning, he has not gotten the first pitch strike over. 22 pitches to this point, quite a few. Trying to aim that ball. He goes 3-0 again. He went 3-0 to Kaiser and got a sac fly, so there's one out. Was 1-1 and got doubled by Campillo to lead off the inning. Fouled off the end of the bat and back to the screen, so they let Elijah Hart loose. He has a .417 batting average here in the stadium and 1 for 2 tonight. Elevated that batting average just a little bit. So you figure somebody with that much bat control can be turned loose 3-0 with a 6-1 lead here, and the bases loaded, one out in the bottom of the 7th. To the plate, and it's coming right straight back to me. It's not going to quite make it. Get a big hop. Ooh, it hit right below me. Doggone it, I almost had a souvenir there. 3-2 is the count. One out, so the runners will not be on the move. On deck hitter is Patrick McMahon. 3-2. This hit out towards the shortstop. Grabs it, comes to the plate, and gets the force out at home. Oh! Apparently the catcher, Erickson, was off the bag or off the plate and was unable to swing back and get the put out, and that scores another run. So a run batted in for Elijah Hart and another run across as we go to 7-1 now. And McMahon is on first base. Check that. Elijah Hart is on first base. Runner goes from first. The throw down to second base, and they're going to try to buy a run with the runner between first and second on a rundown and gets him out at home. So the put out at home for the second out of the inning. That sends Elijah Hart over to second as the Tucson champs were trying to buy a run, give up an out for a run. It did not work in this particular case as a nice throw by Nieto caught him at the plate. The pitch to the plate to McMahon was a strike, and we have a runner on second base with 2 outs now, and a breaking pitch right on the corner. Nice pitch thrown by Gonzalez, Emilio Gonzalez, starting off this inning in relief. But unfortunately for the young man, he has given up hit, walk, sacrifice fly, fielder's choice, and given up 2 runs. That pitch outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, the Knights have a mountain to climb here. As I mentioned before, 2 chances. They've got to make up now 6 runs. Inside, runner goes to third. The throw down to third, and they get him. I believe, no, he said he missed him. Well, I don't know about that. Unfortunately, with only 2 umpires, Baltimore Dagnino had kind of a bad angle to see whether, in fact, the runner going into third had been tagged or not. Down in the dirt for a ball, and the count will go to 3-2 now. So the Tucson champs playing high, wide, and handsome here, trying to hang on to their 5th position. As 5, 6, and 7 are still kind of up for grabs here. I realize it's the bottom. This one a high hopper towards the shortstop. Larson gets it over to first base, and that will end the inning. However, 2 runs across after 7 full innings of play. It is the Tucson champs 7 and the Knights 1. Your Jimmy John's restaurant locations in and around the Tucson area know how much you care about freshness. That's why they spend hours in preparation every day just to make sure your sandwich is excellent. You get the freshest breads, all natural meats, and hand-sliced veggies every time. Stop by a store or order online at jimmyjohns.com. To the top of the eighth inning, trailing 7-1. The Knights come up to bat, and they'll face a new pitcher. Taylor Shaw will be on the mound. The first batter he'll face is Peyton Capullo. Capullo, with the first pitch swinging, misses it. Capullo has a base hit in the third inning and popped out to the first baseman in the fifth. Closing the book on Cole Altier, and you can close the book with a big, beautiful star. This one hit sharply, right center field, a long way. It one-hops the wall, comes off the wall, and they will hold Capullo up at second base because the common baseball knowledge is you do not make the first out or the last out of the inning at third base. Back to Cole Altier. He went 7 innings, gave up 1 run on 3 hits, got 10 strikeouts, but even more striking, if you will, no walks. Alberto Nieto is up there on a 2-base error in the third inning, struck out swinging in the fifth. So a runner on here as the Knights have a long way to make up, 6 runs as a matter of fact. Pitch just misses outside for a ball. One ball and no strikes, a runner on second base, nobody out here in the top of the eighth. Lifted high on the right side, but a beat on it. The second baseman, McMahon, grabs it, and that will be the first out of the top of the eighth inning. Kenneth Marco will be pinch hit for. As stepping in for him is William Bess. So presumably Bess will go into right field. First pitch to him is a called strike. Bess on the year batting .143 here in the stadium. timeout called at the plate as the pitcher Shaw and the shortstop Samarano were messing around with Capullo, who got a leadoff double here in the top of the 8th inning. Inside, blocked by Van Bogart, holding the runner at second base. 1 ball and 1 strike. Taylor Shaw on the mound, graduated from Medford, Oregon High School, and then moved over to Rainy River Community College as the next pitch is a ball, 2-1. Rainy River Community College is in International Falls, Minnesota. Now that might not be quite as much of a shock from Medford, Oregon to the cold climes of International Falls, but there are a lot of Southern Arizona baseball players that play in cold, cold areas. 3-1. When we get a chance, we'll check the scores on the outer fields. They were both tied in the 6th and 7th innings. Inside, Van Bogart has the ball skip away from him, a ball that was down in the dirt. So a wild pitch will send Caputo over to third base, and that puts runners on first and third with only 1 out. However, the Knights need to make up 6 to send it into the 1 extra inning that they have in this league. So the catcher for the Rincon Knights, Dominic Erickson, steps in there. 0 for 2 tonight. Struck out looking in the 3rd, and in the 6th, bounded a ball back to Altier, who was the pitcher at the time. This one, a high hopper out to second, takes a weird hop, and the shortstop tries to get a double play out of it, but it was a late throw to second base to get the runner. So a 4-6 out. Erickson is on first on a fielder's choice, and that brings home the runner from third base, Peyton Capullo. And so now it is 7-2. So we've got another pinch hitter coming up there, Diego Itirius. Itirius, a graduate just recently of Sabino High School, but he'll be on his way to Benedictine University. Takes the first pitch and fouls it off for a strike. Benedictine University, an NAIA school up in the greater Phoenix area. Diego has done a fine job playing in left field when he has had an opportunity. One ball and one strike. So we'll look and see where Itirios goes in, if he goes in offensively, or defensively, that is. Pitch is a ball, 2-1. No other changes defensively here. Right between first and second into right field. Let's see if they hold up the runner. They do, in fact. Was hit pretty sharply. And Elijah Hart out in right field got it back into the infield very quickly. So Diego gets a base hit. 1 run is in. That'll make the runner on first base go to second. And that may be a courtesy runner because in many cases in the league, Dominic Erickson is a catcher and they will run for him. Another pinch hitter coming up. This is Connor Ryan. Very late swing on the first pitch for a strike. So Connor Ryan will take over in the second batter spot here after Sam Gustafson went 0 for 3. Ryan, first pitch swinging, 0 and 1. Throw to first, and the first baseman wasn't anywhere nearby. Not exactly sure why Van Bogart, maybe somebody missed a signal. So Campillo was well back behind the bag, and the only reason the ball didn't go into right field is because it hit Iterios in the stomach. 1 ball and 1 strike on the hitter, Ryan, a pinch hitter here in the top of the 8th inning. Runners on first and second and a run across. Inside, 2 and 1. Taylor Shaw just relieved here in the 8th inning after a spectacular performance by Cole Altier. 7 innings, 1 run, 3 hits, 10 strikeouts and no walks. Timeout at the plate. Ball thrown away, and they will come back and try it again at 2 balls and a strike. Convoy at third, Zamorano at short. McMahon is at second, and Campillo is at first, so they've not made any changes there. Mikey Villa in left, Ricky Martinez in center, and Elijah Hart in right. Fouled off. Count will square up. 2 and 2. On deck hitter. Looks like another pinch hitter, and that is Alec Larson, who went in to play shortstop. Connor Ryan of Briar Cliff University in Sioux City, Iowa, way outside. 3-2 will be the count. And once again, a graduate of a rather warm area is going to school in what might be considered a fairly cool area, Sioux City, Iowa. 3-2 rather. The ball hit between short and third. The shortstop comes with it and gets to the plate. They don't hang on to it, and he scores. An outstanding play by Zamorano as he went all the way out on the outfield grass to knock the ball down. The runner at second base, who was a pinch runner for Erickson, decided to try for it and somehow or other came around and scored. The throw was in plenty of time, but Van Bogart, in looking to see where the runner was and trying to grab the ball, did not get the handle on it. This one knocked into right field as the Knights are coming on strong here, and the second runner will score. Now runners on first and third. The pinch hitter in that particular case was Alec Larson. Larson, who came in to play shortstop, gets himself an RBI single. And even though you thought that maybe this thing might have been out of reach, it winds up that 3 runs have come across. And so they have pared down their deficit from 6 to now 3. And that will bring in a new pitcher as Taylor Shaw will go and sit down. The pitcher for the Tucson Champs will be number 41. That's Simon Bogey. So Simon Bogey comes in and tries to stem the tide here as all of a sudden the bats for the Knights have woken up. So we'll catch the warm-up pitches and then come back to you. Well, we've got a horse of a different color here. 4 hits here in the top of the 8th inning, have plated 3 for the Rincon Knights, and Parker Collette will step in. He is 1 for 3 on the night. Got a double in the 4th inning and came around to score on a base hit by Ivan Gallego. Second pitch to Collette is a called strike. Simon Bogey gets 2 quick strikes here with runners on first and third and 2 outs here. In the top of the 8th inning, Bogey fires that ball high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So suddenly the Knights, after getting rid of Cole Altier, who really had them handcuffed through 7 innings, have woken up. Big swing and a miss, and the strikeout will end the inning. 3 come across, and that's exactly what you want to do if you have a mountain to climb. And the Knights do exactly that, get a part of it back, and they'll have their final chance in the top of the 9th inning. After 7.5 innings of play, it's the Tucson Champs 7 and the Rincon Knights 4. The Best Western Tucson International Airport Hotel and Suites features spacious guest rooms and 2-room suites with an upscale and contemporary decor. Guest room amenities include complimentary internet, refrigerator, coffee maker, and in-room safe. Watch premium cable channels on a 42-inch flat-screen HD TV. Many rooms have patio doors opening to a tranquil courtyard. A best place to stay, Best Western Tucson International Airport Hotel and Suites. Going to the bottom of the 8th with things a little bit different here. The first batter is A.J. Van Bogart, and he has a base hit in 3 times at bat. The other 2 times he struck out, once looking and once swinging. He takes on the first pitch from Emilio Gonzalez, who is charged with a hold here, even though he gave up 2 runs in the 7th inning. Misses outside for a ball, 1-1. Trying to pick up some scores from out in the other fields, so we have picked up one here in the top of the 8th. The Kings, having tied the Aztecs at 5-5 in the 6th inning, have given up 7 runs over the next 2 innings and are behind by a score of 12-5. Sky-high pop-up. Second baseman Nieto on the outfield grass will grab it. Boy, that was what they call a home run in an elevator. That thing really went up there. It was above our position in the press box directly behind behind home plate. 1 out in the bottom of the 8th inning, and the batter is Sean Conboy. Conboy's 0 for 3 tonight from the left side. Has a notion, stays off of it, and it drops low for a ball. One ball pitch on the way, fouled off, and we'll go to a couple of 1s. 1 ball and 1 strike. No action in either bullpen. One ball, 1 strike, nobody on. Bottom of the 8th inning with the Champs leading 7-4. 3 runs in the top of the 8th. Nothing but air on that one. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So it is the top of the ninth inning. Doesn't say who is at bat. I'll check that in a second. But the Cochise Stars trail Team Tucson 5-4. Pitch misses, and the count goes to 2-2. Hopefully it will come up for it. I pushed the right button. There we go. We'll take a check on it in a second. 2-2. Off-speed pitch, high fastball. Well, it wasn't a fastball, a high ball. And a strikeout. So the first strikeout for Gonzalez. And to the top of the eighth inning, to the top of the batting order will go Jacob Federico. Federico, 2 for 4 tonight. Base hit his first time up and a double the second time up. Since then, he's popped out to the catcher and flown out to the center fielder, Collette. 2 outs, nobody on. Gonzalez gets him to foul one back to the screen. Oh 1, late swing. 0-2. Emilio Gonzalez, second inning of work. Had he been this efficient in his first inning of work, the score would be 5-4 now, but it's 7-4 at the set. 0-2. Way outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Two balls and a strike, nobody on. We're in the bottom of the eighth inning. Ooh, hits him right square in the back. Ouch, that one hurt. That was not an off-speed pitch. As they say, that will draw a bruise. That brings up Ricky Martinez. Martinez, a triple in 4 times at the plate. He walked in the first inning and came around to score. Popped out to the pitcher, J.C. Burkett. That was in the second inning. Then he got his triple into the corner in right field, but was unable to score. There were 2 outs, and the next batter flew out to right field. And then Ricky Martinez flew out to the right fielder, Markle. That was in the 6th inning. So a 2-out base runner. As the runner got plunked, this first pitch fouled off to the backside. Not a big lead at first base. However, Gonzalez didn't like it and went to the bag to move him back. Federico, normally an infielder, shortstop, or third base, so we're going to assume, without any real validation, that he does have decent speed. It'd be interesting to see if they send him here. They do not. Ball is way inside, and Martinez used his way out of it. Bottom of the 8th inning here, 7-4 in favor of the Champs there at bat. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, runner on first. Into left field, a shot. Hit hard enough that the runner has to stay at second base after advancing from first. And a runner goes into scoring position, and that brings up Robert Campillo. Campillo has 2 doubles. One was a 2-run double in the first inning. Then he struck out in the second, flew out to right field in the 4th, came back with a double as a leadoff in the 7th inning and came around to score. Those right now are the insurance runs, as the Knights came up with 3 in the top of the 8th inning. Had they been able to avoid the 2 in the bottom of the 7th, this would be an entirely different story. Timeout called at the plate, and everybody will back out. First pitch to Campillo, the third hitter in the lineup. Nice outside corner curveball for a called strike. Federico on second, Martinez on first. 2 outs, bottom of the 8th inning. Corner outfielders are relatively shallow. This one hit sky high to center field. Retreating is Collette, kind of dancing around to find it, and finally does. And that will be the 3rd out of the inning with nothing across. So Gonzalez does his job here in the bottom of the 8th inning and puts a hold on the Tucson champs. And the Knights have one more opportunity as we go to the top of the 9th inning. Firestone Complete Auto Care is your go-to tire store in the greater Tucson area. Find the right tires online or in store. There are 5 locations. Pick the one closest to you. 290 West Wetmore Road, 2400 block of North First, 3501 East Broadway, 4800 block of East Sunrise, or 7950 East Speedway. Anywhere you go, Firestone Complete Auto Care, you will not be disappointed. Simon Bogey is still on the mound. He came in and got the strikeout that ended the 8th inning. First pitch to Ivan Gallego is a strike. You'll note that Simon Bogey brings that ball with a little authority. Misses inside, 1-1. Nothing across in the bottom of the 8th inning for the Tucson champs. They are clinging to a 7-4 lead here. However, they gave up 3 runs in the top of the 8th inning. This one fouled off to the right side, 1 ball and 2 strikes. For some reason, our little program is not showing what's going on the fields, on the outside fields. This one, a slow roller to Conboy at third, throws offline, and the base runner misses the bag, but he dives back into it and gets there. And I believe that they're going to count that as an error, although it was an extremely tough play for Conboy. Well, let's see. I had 2 errors already. It looks like they're going to credit Gallego with a base hit. A real tough play for Conboy. Pitch in the dirt. The runner goes to second late. The throw down is into right center field, and he is safe. So the ball kicked away from the catcher, Van Bogart. However, the runner Gallego got a little bit of a late start there, and had the throw been on, there would have been a challenge to whether he was going to be safe or not. Runner on second. This pitch gets away. Second ball as Van Bogart, who has for the most part been an outfielder, is behind the plate tonight. And a wild pitch will send the runner over to third. But quite frankly, if the Knights are going to come back, they need more than just this one base runner. So an infield single, a stolen base to second, and a wild pitch to third. Angel Marquez is the batter. He struck out swinging in the 7th inning, and the ball misses 3-0. So I'm going to assume that the take sign is on here because you need base runners. 3-0 outside for a ball, and it's a walk. So runners on first and third with nobody out. And the batter will be the left fielder, Peyton Capullo. Capullo has 2 hits in 3 times at bat. He got a single in the first, popped out to the first baseman, Campillo, in the 5th inning, and then got a double and scored in the 8th inning when the Knights came across with their 3 runs. First pitch, a ball. We're in the top of the 9th inning. Runners on first and third, 7-4 is the score. Corners inside, called strike. Cole Altier pitched a marvelous first 7 innings. Taylor Shaw scrambled around a little bit, and he was picked up by Simon Bogey. This one hit into right field and down the line. It'll catch the stands over there and roll into right field. Elijah Hart will grab it and get it in. 1 run is across. The second runner goes to third base and an RBI base hit. And the Knights are not dead despite early reports. 7-5 now. Runners on first and third. Nobody out. And coming in to pinch hit here for the Rincon Knights will be Dylan Thomas. Hits it right back up through the middle. A one-hopper to the shortstop who boots it. That'll get another run in. So an error on the shortstop will bring in the run. Second run across now. So it is now 7-6. It is a 1-run ball game. And that will bring up William Bess. Bess came in the 8th inning and drew a walk. Runners on first and third. Around to try the sacrifice squeeze, which is where you put the ball down first and then worry about moving on from there. Got a score from the outlying fields here. We'll give you the information in just a second. 1-ball count to William Bess. He gets the bunt down and will tie it up. Run scores. The out is at first base. And that will tie it up. Boy, talk about a turnaround. First out of the inning. That'll bring up Dominic Erickson. As coming around to score will be Capullo. 3 runs across here. And we're all tied up at 7-7 with a runner in scoring position at second base. First pitch ducking out of the way was a ball as Bogey can't seem to find the plate. So an RBI sacrifice bunt by William Bess gets the run across, and we're all tied up. Erickson back up off the fist to the shortstop. Zamorano gets him out at first. That's the second out. But that will move the runner over to third. And with Simon Bogey as hard as he throws, that is a bit of a challenge because Van Bogart will need to keep things going in front of him. So the bottom of the 8th inning, the Aztecs are on top by a score of 12-5. A bases loaded double, and we'll see how many came across. We're at the top of the order, Diego Itirius, and a second pitch ball. First base is open. There's a runner at third and 2 outs here in the top of the ninth, and the Knights have come back and tied it up. Outside, it gets away. The runner will score. So a wild pitch will bring across the go-ahead run for the Tucson Rincon Knights. And it's a 3-ball count to Itirius. So he has an opportunity of getting on, as the wheels have come off the wagon for the Tucson champs. The next pitch right down the middle for a called strike, 3-1. 3 runs in the top of the 8th, 4 runs in the top of the 9th, and that puts inside called strike, 3-2. That puts the Rincon Knights up by 1 here in the top of the 9th inning. If it's all tied up, well, it won't be. At least if this is a high hopper towards shortstop, it's going to be a real tough play. The throw to first got him, and that gets a groan out of the Knights. They kind of figured that the runner had beaten the throw. Outstanding play by Samorano to get the out. And in the top of the 9th inning, 4 runs come across, and the score is the Rincon Knights 8 and the Tucson champs leading it all the way now at 7. When you want really good Tex-Mex cuisine, to go to Chewy's Mesquite Broiler at East 22nd Street in Colb. Now, Chewy's knows what Southwest tastes are all about, and they're there to satisfy. Chewy's at 22nd Street is open until 10 on weeknights and Sundays, until 11 on Fridays, and until midnight on Saturdays. Enjoy the food, the funky decor, and drinks at Chewy's at East 22nd Street and Colb. So a relatively decent spot in the order for the Tucson champs. They're going to be looking at 4, 5, and 6. Each, with the exception of the 6th place hitter, is over 300 in batting here in the stadium. And up to the bat right now is Luis Samorano, who is 1 for 3. Got a base hit and scored in the 7th inning. Second pitch to him is a called strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Emilio Gonzalez is out on the mound. He gave up a run in the 7th inning, actually 2 of them. But in the important 8th inning, he held the champs to no runs. And back here in the 9th, a sharp hit out to the shortstop, Larson. Larson to first base, and it is in the dirt. Well, let's see. The umpire showed an out sign. I guess he's going to call it that the ball came out of the glove when he went to throw it. So a break there for the Rincon Knights, as it looked like the inning would lead off with an error. Okay, this is Mikey Villa. He is the left fielder. Off-speed pitch catches the outside corner for a called strike. Villa has been hit by a pitch and walked. His other 2 times at bat, he got a triple and a ground out, so he's 1 for 2. Nobody on, 1 out. Ball in the dirt, 1-1. So 4 runs across in the top of the 9th inning puts the Rincon Knights, who are trying to break up or get it better at a 5-15 record. This one belted left field down. Base hit. Might be a double as it goes into the corner. They're going to be close at second base, and he is out at second base. So Villa trying to stretch it into a double. Nice job by Peyton Capullo. Got over there quickly and made a strong throw to second base. And frankly beat Villa by an awful lot. 7-4 was the out, the second out, nobody on. And Dylan Kaiser will be the batter. Boy, the Rincon Knights bench went crazy when they threw him out at second base. Off-speed pitch in for a strike. 0-1. Kaiser walked in the first, but he drove in a run with that walk. 0-1 pitch. Out front, the pitcher will walk it over to first base, and a 1-3 out, third out of the inning, and the Rincon Knights rise from the dead. They were down by a score of 7-1. Then in the top of the eighth, they got 3. In the top of the ninth, they got 4. And they come away with an 8-7 victory. And I guess that comes under the category of never say die. Well, we have finished up here at the Kino Veterans Memorial Stadium, and we're going to kind of give a recap of things as we try very hard to get some scores from the outlying fields. Unfortunately, you normally just tap one thing and they come up, but in this particular case, they don't. Recapping the scoring, in the bottom of the first inning, it was Tucson Champs jumping out to a 3-0 lead. A base hit, a walk, a double drove in 2. Another walk, a hit batter, and a walk loaded them up. But then J.C. Burkett found his game and struck out 3 in a row and got out of the inning after giving up only 3 runs. He struck out 2 more in the second inning, but got back in trouble again in the third, giving up a triple to the left center field wall. Mikey Villa came around to third base and then was singled home by Elijah Hart, and the score at that time was 4-0. The Rincon Knights got into the thing here in the fourth inning with a 2-out double and then a 2-out base hit for an RBI, and the score at that time was 4-1. But coming right back and getting a leadoff base hit in the bottom of the fourth inning were the Tucson Champs. Next 2 batters were out, but then Ricky Martinez came up and planted one in the right field corner, winding up with an RBI triple, and that's where it stood after 4 innings of play at a score of 5-1. It stayed that way until the 7th inning when the Tucson Champs led off with a double. That double was against Jesse Kimura. A base hit followed, a walk to fill him up, a sacrifice fly to left field, and infielder's choice got another run in, and that scored 2 of them. And so at the end of 6.5 innings of play, it was 7-1 in favor of the Tucson Champs. But then the Rincon Knights came back in the 8th inning. They got a leadoff double from Campullo, then an out and a walk, an RBI fielder's choice by Dominic Erickson on a close play at the plate. Then to the top of the order, Tyler Thomas checked that. Diego Interius got a base hit, an RBI single by Connor Ryan, an RBI single by Alec Larson, and that brought across 3, and the score at the end of 8 was 7-4. So we go to the bottom of the 8th inning, and Emilio Gonzalez did a fine job of keeping the Tucson Champs off the bases and out of the scorebook. And we go to the top of the 9th inning. The top of the 9th inning led off with a base hit, a stolen base and a wild pitch, another walk, an RBI single by Peyton Capullo, then an error on the shortstop, a sacrifice bunt, got another run in, an infield out, got another run in, and finally the out that finished the inning, but that wasn't before 4 runs came across, and that made it 8-7 in favor of the Rincon Knights, and that's where it ended up. Well, I'm not sure that we can make contact with our southern fields here because we're going to have to talk and type at the same time, so kind of bear with me here. We're going to look and see what the Aztec game is doing out there. So it is the top of the ninth, and the Aztecs lead it by a score of 13-5. So we will assume that it'll stay somewhere in that vicinity. And now, talking and typing, I'm going to try to get a score on the Cochise Stars, I-C-E, and then Stars, S, whoops. My big fat fingers didn't hit the right spot. Stars, and we'll hit the go button and see if it comes up with it. It does, in fact. There's a final score on that one as Team Tucson beats the Cochise Stars by a score of 5-4. So let's look and see what the standings will show as the Rincon Knights here come back and win it 8-7, and that puts the Rincon Knights at 6 wins and 15 losses, and the Tucson Champs will drop down to 7-15, so that will tighten that up as the Knights were 2 games, a game and a half behind, so that'll only put them a game behind the Tucson Champs. This is the battle for 5th, 6th, and 7th. The 1, 2, 3, and 4 is pretty well set. Now the Aztecs come up with a win. We'll assume that 13-5 may be the final score. The Old Pueblo Kings will drop to 5-17, and the Aztecs will go up to 18-4. And then we'll look at the Cochise Stars. They come up on the short end of their game, which really kind of eliminates any possibility they had of overtaking the Aztecs for first place, as the Cochise Stars are 13-8, and they drop 4.5 games behind. Team Tucson with a victory, they have already locked up the 4th and final playoff position, and they are 12-9 on the season, and now 4.5 games back, and actually threatening to overtake the Cochise Stars. But right now it looks like the semifinal playoff game that will be played on Monday, the 15th of July, that will be this next Monday, it will be the Aztecs against Team Tucson, and then B&L Rockets against the Cochise Stars. The winners will then meet on Wednesday to decide the league championship. It looks like the Aztecs will sew up the regular season top spot. Then it's kind of open for question whether it'll be the B&L Rockets second or third, and then the Cochise Stars up in the air whether they are going to be second or third. Team Tucson definitely will be in 4th spot. So on Monday it'll be the Aztecs against Team Tucson. On Tuesday it'll be B&L Rockets against Cochise Stars, and then on Wednesday it will be the winner. Looking forward, we have a day off tomorrow, but looking forward to the schedule on Thursday. It'll be the Rincon Knights playing the Aztecs here in the stadium, and out on the South Fields it'll be the Tucson Champs and the B&L Rockets, and the Old Pueblo Kings and the Cochise Stars. So looking at where we wound up here, with a base hit in the bottom of the 9th inning here, it's going to be 12 total hits for the home team, the Tucson Champs, but they come away with only 7 runs, while the Rincon Knights get how many hits in the 9th inning? They got 2 for 9, so that's how they wound up winning it 8-7. Well, an 8-7 count in favor of the Rincon Knights wraps it up here from Kino Veterans Memorial Stadium. This is Alan Scott saying good night.